I've got to say, Aimee, for someone who has gone through quite a lot recently, you're still very determined, and I appreciate that. Like a lot of people at this stage, they would have turned their back on me. Okay, right? Like let's look at the picture. You get screwed out of winning the Women's World Championship. You get screwed out of having that long run. I win the X Factor tournament, and a lot of people who I've been around, as soon as I get success and as soon as I try and start putting all of the pieces together, they turn their backs on me. They think I'm gonna stab them in the back. I'm gonna be that snake that I used to be, but I'm glad that that's not the case with you. I mean, of course not, Kairi. Of course not. I mean, like, look at the situation. You have no part to play in what happened at the end of the X Factor Rumble, right? You're not a part of Controller Tav anymore. You've tried leaving that. You've left that in the past, and unfortunately, your past is catching up with you. And it happens to all of us, right? Like, I'm still new to the business, but I'm sure I'm gonna build stuff up to eventually. That's gonna, bother me in the future. But just know, no matter what happens, I'm happy for you. I really am, because this is your moment. Kingdom of Glory 2 is going to be your night. You're going to win that Women's World Championship once again. And then when you do, just remember who was there for you, Like, hey, I'm still entitled to my rematch, and I would love for it to be against you, because I don't want to, I don't want to tread on your toes. Aimee, you are being incredibly... I don't want to say naive. I really don't want to say the word naive, but you have to look at the situation here, right? Your mentor has a shot at the Women's World Championship, the belt that you got screwed out of at the end of the X Factor Rumble. But instead of being a good mentor, and instead of being a good friend and handing you that opportunity, or maybe even trying to help you get another shot at the belt, because let's be real here, whilst Controller Tava are at the top of the division, Peyton Kemp is not going to go against them. Let's be real. So he's not going to give you your rematch. So instead of her helping you, she is making you wait. She is halting your career, essentially, so that she can have the moment at Kingdom of Glory 2. That's what's going on here. Kairi, don't worry, I've got this. Listen, G, I get it, right? You have more reason than anyone to dislike Kairi, and I fully get that. But you haven't even tried to see what she's like anymore. You haven't even tried to give her the time of day. You are someone who a lot of the people in this locker room look up to. When I was training, just as Sienna was graduating from the academy, and I was telling her, hey, who should I be looking up to in the industry, right? Who should I be looking at for guidance, for inspiration? She went, G is great, right? Like, and Sienna was telling me about how you two fought in the finals of the Trial by Combat tournament and all of that. And I was so excited, right? When Kairi gave me the opportunity, I was like, wow, I can learn from Kairi, and eventually I can learn from someone like you, G. But you've decided that because you have this deep-seated hatred for Kairi, that you're just gonna completely ignore anything that she's done recently, and you're so headstrong, you're so hell-bent on everything that happened in the past. Why can't you let it go? I don't know. Okay? Is that the answer that you want? I don't know why I can't let it go, right? I just see it. Every single time I look at Kairi, it's the neck injury from 5 years ago. It's the constant attacks. It was going after not just me, but then also going after Akira, going after Jade, being involved in Controller Tav. It's all of this stuff, and I can't look past it. I can't. And, I try. I've tried so hard to maybe even consider it, but every time I do, I'm reminded of the time that I was in hospital and I could barely feel my... I could barely feel my hands, I could barely feel my arms when I was in that hospital after Kairi did what she did. And I think about all of the time, the weeks, the months that I was out, that I had time, that much time taken away from my career because of one person's actions. And I can't look past that. I just can't. And in all honesty, G, you shouldn't. You really, really shouldn't. I mean, look, it's only a matter of time. Do you think it's very coincidental that at the same time that Kairi beats Alexis Nova, a Control Tav member, in the semi-finals, and then goes on to win the X Factor tournament, that's the night that Control Tav decide to strike? After the fact that Usher has held that Queen of the Ring briefcase for 4 years now? You really think that's a coincidence? You really think that's coincidental? Oh, don't you get involved. No, okay? I'm sick of this. And you know what? I think it's about time that we stopped talking and we start fighting. So how's about it? Me and Kairi versus you and G, Jade. Let's do it. Journey to Japan. And I'll tell you what. Kairi, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put this into my own hands, but I know you, I trust you, and I know you can get this done. If either of you can pin Kairi, then you can have a shot at her championship shot. I know it's very convoluted, but deal with it here. You can get a shot at her title shot at Kingdom of Glory 2 at Power Struggle. Wonderful. Alright, G, let's go. Aimee, what was that about? You sure you're like, are you okay with just handing out my championship opportunities like that? I know you, Kairi, I trust you, and I know we can get this done. We're a fantastic team, and I know we can beat them. Trust me. I really hope I can, Aimee. I really hope I can.